says yes, then I'm going to be able to do this. But you're not going to have to walk in the door. My whole idea here is that you don't walk in the door of any business that the person isn't already your client. Let me say that again. In other words, with this system, if you follow it correctly, you will never have to walk in the door of a business where the business owner is not already your client. And that's the real objective that we were trying to get across. And I'll explain how you do that in a second. The second big reason that PPC works so well is because Laura brought a piece to this that was pretty amazing. Okay?
Yeah, I think it puts you in a much different position, and you are now trusted, which is extremely important, because at that point, once you're the go-to guy, I mean, I could tell you from client after client after client, once you've shown them something, they'll listen to whatever you say and whatever your recommendations are, and it's really, it's a remarkable thing.
Yeah, and I gave an example when we were developing this theory before we started testing. I gave an example to Laura. I said, I've got a lawn guy that's a really awesome lawn guy. He's like the best lawn guy ever. And, I needed a roof on a house. And the first guy I went to ask who to get a roof from was the lawn guy. The guy didn't know a damn thing about putting roofs on houses, I'm sure. But he recommended some people to me, and they were the first people that I talked to. Because I trust this guy now. He's my home services guy because he does the best job of all my home services providers. And that's a very rudimentary example, but in this marketplace today, the marketplace has really changed, especially for local business, because they are getting a lot of offers. They're getting a lot of people come to them with different things. But most people want to scalp them right out of the gate, and they want the business owner to take 100% of the risk, which is always a bad idea. But here's the thing. So business owners are very, very skeptical about opening up their wallets and giving money to marketing companies or anybody else for this matter, right? But that's the challenge that everybody's been facing in local lately. But here's the opportunity that they're missing is once they've opened up their wallet even a little bit, just the littlest bit, they're 20 times more likely to give you more business. And you're operating in a vacuum then. You have no competition, right? You're the trusted versus all the untrusted. And I'm going to show you why that's so important in a minute. So first of all, let's talk about the cheese and whiskers part of this. Because one of the things that I definitely told Laura, that was so important, and we agreed was so important when she developed the system, is that we have to be able to get the clients to call you. It's a much better position. Rather than you going out and prospecting and getting clients to, knocking on doors and cold calling and all that. I mean, if you do that long enough, you want to hang yourself with a short rope, right? So nobody wants to do that. And the truth of it is, whether you hate it or whether you maybe you're okay with it. Maybe you say, I'm tough and I like cold calling and I'll just do it. The truth is, it's a very inefficient way of doing business, okay? Because you're only as good as the effort of the person you're standing in front of at a time. You can't multiply your efforts and there's no duplicity to it. So I strongly suggest that you give up that effort. And it really won't be that hard of a habit to give up once you've gotten out of it. I promise you. Because you'll realize how, a buddy of mine told me one time, a long time ago in business, he was a very good cold caller, and I just never could get into it. And I said, how in the world do you do it, man? Every day, all day long, you cold call. So he made a lot of money. And he said, well, Perry, it's like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. It sure feels good when you quit at the end of the day. So you're going to be able to deliver them a top position, clicks, phone calls, a real result without them ever having to come out of pocket a single solitary dime. And let me tell you, the day when they get that first phone call for a wedding catering job and they haven't paid you any money yet, you just became the person that they're in love with for the rest of their life. Okay? And that's the position. Now, you're going to do a couple of more things. So you're going to do that. You're going to set up the account. You're going to engage. And then Laura has a questionnaire that she uses that I want you to use in dealing with your clients. So once you've set them up, say, now what I'd like to do now is take a little marketing audit and see how else we could help you get more customers. Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you say. And here's the thing, they're going to be so cooperative with you because guess what? They're your client now. Okay? They're your client now. You're not selling them, they're your client.
And can I say something about this questionnaire? Because it's really brilliant, because it really pulls at what they should be doing. And most of the time, when you're going through this, and I call it an audit, you want to call it a questionnaire, or you want to call it whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it really, really exposes how much they actually really don't know about their own marketing and all the areas that they actually need help in. And since you're the guy that just went ahead and got them on, to number one at Google just in 24 hours, they start to get, oh my God, I'm not doing half the things I should. And there's also questions to pull the string to find out what their budgets are. Like, a lot of guys are spending $1,000 a month with Yellow Pages, for example, and those absolutely don't work. So what happens is you can actually get them to repurpose money that they're spending that they don't need to be spending on things that are more effective. But when you start to do the questionnaire, it really highlights how smart we are as consultants and the areas that really the clients need the most help with. So you can, every training that you've ever done, everything anything you can outsource, all can be upsold. They could have lousy websites. They could need local search, as far as not just the pay-per-click, but the Google Places. They could need QR codes. They could need mobile, on and on and on. You can look at their website if there's no phone number on the header. I mean, there's just so much stuff you can go in and be able to just go. It's like a 1-2 punch, and the next thing you know, the guy is just listening to whatever you go ahead and then and the funny part of it is that you never ever have to say it costs this much or sign or do you want to start. They always end up saying, "What can you do this for me?" Yeah. Sure, you do it for you. And how much does it cost? And how much do I write the check out for? And it's that simple. I like to sell. Here's
the big thing that I don't want you to do, and this is really important right here. I don't want you to take any more money from this client at this meeting if they beg you. Don't do it. Don't offer to sell them anything.
Yep.
And if they ask you, if they beg you, just say, you know what, let's not do that yet. Let me deliver a result to you and prove to you that I can deliver the goods. And then we'll talk about all that. And that'll give you such a positioning over every other competitor you'll ever have walk in that door that you got that customer in an iron cage for life. So just get your contract for your $20. You don't have to get the $20. Get your letter of agreement signed for your $20. Get them set up on Google and get them their result that you promised. Okay? So let's say, for instance, you're going to make them number one for Tupelo Wedding Catering within 5 miles of their restaurant. So tomorrow they're going to go on, they're going to log on and check you. And when you're there, they're going to go, holy crap. And just the ego alone, they're going to call you tomorrow and go, holy crap, man, I'm really there. They're going to freak out about it. Okay? So, and again, let them, the more result they get, the better off you are for the next thing that you want to deliver to them. Okay? But the secret is that you need to be in charge of making sure that they get good work delivered to them. You have to provide that iron cage follow-up. Keep in touch with them. Put them on an autoresponder email drip so that they get a newsletter from you or something from you once a month or a couple times a month with cool news articles and things that might help their business. And look out for them. The whole idea is that now you're their tech guy or gal in Laura's case. So, you're their tech person, and they're going to be dependent on you. And you tell them right there, say, hey, look, don't do me a favor. Here's a great thing to say when you leave the second meeting and you're starting to do work for them. Say, listen, do me one favor. Let me be your agency. It won't cost you anything. But if somebody comes to you and they want to sell you advertising or marketing service or something just forward them on to me. Let me be your agency. It won't cost you any more, and it'll keep you from getting taken advantage of. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. We do that all the time, and we fend questions. And the other thing I just want to mention too is in there's a module on outsourcing and how to project manage so that you can get all the work done by others. It shows the systems that we use to actually do that. I do all the stuff myself a few times over to make sure it works. And once I have that done and I understand how it works, somebody else does it. Otherwise, we'd never expand.
Yeah, and that's really what this is all about. If you're gonna, the problem is going to be that there's a problem with most local marketing trainings, and we've been guilty of it ourselves, and that's trying to specialize